I'm David Mustio, and today I'm speaking with Susie Barragate. Welcome to the show.
David, how are you?
I'm good. Did I get your name right?
Yes, you did.
Okay, I mean, how many times did I make you make me practice it? Like 10?
It was pretty impressive.
How are you?
I'm really well. Thank you for asking.
Well, tell us about yourself.
Sure. So I am a lifelong Northeast Ohio girl.
Okay.
Grew up in Northeast Ohio, went to school down south in Cincinnati,
Okay.
and came back to be close to family.
Mhm.
And I live in Cleveland Heights, and I've got two great kids who are now grown, which is frightening.
Scary.
I'm in that moment of like, I'm not going to have kids at home.
How did that happen? Right.
Yeah. And I'm an avid cat lover, and I read a lot of books.
How many cats do you have?
I have two.
You have two.
I do.
Are they indoor, outdoor, both?
They are indoor and have no desire to go outside.
The food's inside.
That's right.
That's what they care about. Now, do they wake you up in the morning?
They do, and in the middle of the night.
Oh, and in the middle of the night.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I read something, so tell me if you think it's true, that the reason cats wake people up in the morning is to make sure they're still alive.
Yes, I've heard that as well.
Do you think that's true?
I think they're hungry.
Oh, okay. Well, that's why I know we men, that's why we get up in the morning, is because we're hungry.
That's right.
My dog, he'll sleep half the day. He doesn't care. Well, he's also all of 6 pounds. So
Oh, wow. My cats are bigger than that.
he's a good boy. So tell us about your kids.
I have a son who's about to turn 18 and
Okay.
is graduating from high school. And I have a daughter who's 22 and graduating college.
Wow.
Yeah, big year.
It is a big year. Both are happening this year.
Yes.
And what are you going to do with your life after that?
I'm so thankful I have a job.
Okay.
I've had some friends say, you have to find a hobby and you have to find this and you have to find that. And I said, I have to go to work. So I think I'll be okay.
Okay. Well, a job is good.
Yeah.
I have grown children too. I think I was a little more excited. They don't listen for them to leave. But
Yeah, mine are excited to leave. Yeah.
so what do you do for fun?
Oh, wow. That's a loaded question.
I know.
Like I said, I read a ton of books.
What are you reading now? Oh, no, you don't have to tell me if you don't want people to know.
Yeah, I'm going to just hold that. But I read a lot of fiction and
Okay.
a lot of biography.
Okay.
So,
How many books a year?
oh God,
A bunch.
30
Wow.
maybe. Yeah,
You are an avid reader.
yeah.
Do you have a book that sticks out that you sometimes want to go back to?
I have read Andre Agassi's biography multiple times.
Okay.
It's a fabulous read.
Really?
And there's a lot of life lessons in that book. Not just if you're an athlete or a tennis player, but if you are a human being.
Okay. So you recommend it?
I do, highly.
Folks, go out and buy it,
It's called Open.
and we'll see if sales
Yeah.
skyrocket. Well, you mentioned work.
Yeah.
What do you do for a living?
So I am the president and CEO of Vocational Guidance Services, but that's a mouthful right there.
Do you get 2 paychecks since you're CEO and
I
president?
Don't, unfortunately. They come combined in one.
Ouch.
Yeah, yeah. But, the reality of that role is more of a coach and coordinator than it is playmaker, right? I think that my role is to help others be successful
Okay.
and help my team look good,
Okay.
and help the agency as a whole grow and be successful. It's not really about the title.
Sure.
Yeah.
How do you do that?
Well, I've been here a long time.
You're all of 29 at this point?
Yeah, I wish. I started here when I was 26 years old,
Okay.
and I've been here 29 years.
Wow.
So I've seen a lot. There's a lot of institutional history that I've seen, and I've seen theories come and go, and I've seen philosophies come and go. But my original job here was in human resources. So building teams and understanding human nature and human behavior, that's really helpful in leadership roles. And knowing and being able to read a person in a room and understand how they're reacting to what they're getting told, that helps in supporting a team and building a team.
So you actively listen.
Yes.
And body language does say a lot, right?
Yes, yeah.
Now, I heard a rumor that this organization has been here more than 10 years.
Yeah, a little more than 10 years. So we're actually 135 years old.
135.
Yeah.
That is impressive.
It's a fabulous story.
Tell us about it.
So it started with a group of very young women who were the daughters of some of the very wealthy families in Cleveland.
Okay.
And they sort of lived on what then was called Millionaire's Row. And, oil was a huge part of the Cleveland legacy here. And these daughters were parts of those families. And they did what every kid does and should never do, which is tell their mother that they are bored and need something to do. And so their older sisters were doing some fundraising for another organization, and she said, why don't you have a sewing circle? Why don't you make some things, and why don't you sell them? And the proceeds can go to the kids in the hospital who have disabilities.
Okay.
And that group became known as Sunbeam. And so they are still with us today. They are a big part of us today. But our history is rooted in women who've come together to solve a problem. And they were providing services and opportunities for children and people with disabilities at a time in Cleveland when that was not the norm.
Sure.
They started a school where all were welcome. So it didn't matter what your race, religion, creed, disability was, you were welcome. And that school still exists in the Cleveland Metropolitan School District.
And does it operate the same?
It does operate the same. Yeah.
Wow, that's impressive.
So the Sunbeam School is still a part of Cleveland Metropolitan School District. And out of that grew VGS. And the services have morphed over time. But it grew into really this idea that individuals with a disability have a right to participate fully in the community that they live in, just like you and I do. And so this very rich history of being started by women is sort of come full circle now with myself and Laura Lamb leading this organization.
What does VGS stand for?
Vocational Guidance Services.
That's a lot.
It is a lot. Yeah. And I'm an outsider. I came to VGS accidentally.
Okay.
I answered a blind ad in the newspaper back when that was how you applied for jobs, right?
Now, that's after it was started 130, because they didn't have newspapers probably. Well, they might have.
They had newspapers, yeah.
But they didn't have the internet.
No, and I am pre-internet. I'm going to date myself here.
Me too. It's okay. I remember AOL, the dial-up.
Oh, me too.
You've got mail.
Yeah, I remember that.
I still, to this day, have my AOL.
Do you really?
Personal, yeah.
Good for you.
So, if anybody wants to reach me, it's davidroosdale@AOL.com. Good luck spelling the last name.
So I applied for a job in human resources, and I didn't know the company name. I didn't know who I was applying to. And
you needed a job.
I needed a job, and I wandered in here, and, fate has a funny way of working things out for you.
And how did you progress into the role you have today?
Yeah. And I think it's one of the really great things about VGS. There's a culture here that we want to see people succeed. We want to give them opportunity to learn new things.
Okay.
I had a fantastic boss. And he saw something in me at a very young age that I didn't see.
Okay.
And just kept throwing opportunities at me.
Okay.
And said, I want you to go learn. So when you're done with your real job, right? Hint, hint, wink, wink, right? Try this. go learn about this program. And because I was an outsider and didn't have sort of this history or education, he said, you need to learn about the services that we provide, and you need to understand how all the programs here fit together, and who are our referral sources, and who are our donors, and how does that all work as one big cosmos that is VGS. And had it not been for him, I probably would have been pretty pigeonholed, and probably wouldn't be here, to be honest with you, because I probably would have moved on to another human resources job somewhere else. But I'm a lifelong learner. It's interesting to me. And I also liked the people that we serve. There's something really powerful about when you have a really bad day, but somebody else had a great day.
Right.
And that happens all the time here. So that allowed me to stay interested in the work and be passionate about it and be curious about it. I think it's really important. And so, like many of our employees here, I just kept taking a different step up or a step sideways, and ended up in the role that I am in now.
So what services does VGF offer? VGS, sorry.
That's okay. So on the half of our business is truly vocational rehabilitation services,
Okay.
right? So we're talking about day programming or community-based programming, placement services, those kinds of things.
Sure.
The other half of what we do is contracted work. So we're trying to create job opportunities in the community for people that we serve to have a job. And so we do a lot of contracts like custodial work in various buildings around the state, and
Okay.
that balances out the work that we do on the vocational rehabilitation side.
And how many folks go out and do this? How many folks do you have out in the field?
So we serve about 700 individuals a year, 770 if I'm going to,
Okay.
nobody's counting, right?
Yeah. It's good. It's a good size organization.
Yeah, and I would say there's a good 400 of them who are on the side of working out in the community. And
Amazing.
Yeah, it's really amazing.
Now, and we can cut this out if you don't want to talk about it. But we were talking about some of the politics around that right now.
Yeah.
So you want to share any concerns or thoughts?
I think, one of the things about the work that we do, and as a field as a whole,
Sure.
is that I believe that it's universal, right? So disability does not discriminate.
Exactly.
And it doesn't care what side of the aisle that you sit on. I think the safety nets that organizations like VGS provide are vital to the communities that we serve. And we bring value to those communities. And I think that it's dangerous to unravel those safety nets because there are vulnerable people who need them. And I get concerned about how do you put that back together again? It's sort of like Humpty Dumpty, right?
Sure.
Once it falls off the wall and breaks, it's very, very difficult to rebuild all of that. And nonprofit organizations that do this kind of work, they're not operating on big fat margins.
Right.
And so there is a danger of destroying the network of service providers. And I find that distressing.
Well, certainly, because then where do folks go?
Right.
And what do folks do?
Right.
Right. And you're right. When we're talking about DD services providers, our funding is nothing compared to the need.
Correct.
And so folks go unserved because we can't afford
Yeah.
to serve them.
Yeah. And organizations like VGS end up having to fundraise the difference, right?
Yep.
So the higher the quality of the programming that we want to offer, the more money that costs. And then we have to understand how do we fund that difference. And that's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that the value that gets placed on the individuals that we serve is not truly their value. And I wish that the government saw them as much more valuable than they do.
Especially so many that want to work
Right.
and want to be in the community and are actually helping employers and
Yeah, I mean, the data is very clear. Employers who work with individuals with disabilities and have them in their workplace are more profitable.
Yep.
And we know that outcomes are better for individuals when they're served in their communities. And so it's really a win-win.
right.
But I think too often it gets overlooked. You know, it's the largest minority population in the United States. And yet when conversations arise about populations that need the most services and need the most assistance, you don't hear about it.
Right. How do you navigate that here?
In Cleveland?
Yeah.
Well, I think trying to be a good advocate, trying to educate the communities that we're in, trying to educate foundations and donors and the people that I see at the grocery store and
Right.
just trying to help them understand that there's a whole population of individuals who want to come and work, and they deserve to do that. They
And
have
they
a right to
do
do
good work if they know the job.
I think it's amazing to see how people are really pleasantly surprised when we talk about the breadth of the work that individuals that we serve actually do, and that it can be very, very complicated, or it can be very, very simple and rote. But there's a wide range of ability if we just say yes.
Yeah. It's interesting, the word disability falls out of our mouth a lot, but the truth is we all have different abilities, you and me
Sure.
included.
Right.
And so we need to look at people's abilities and help them thrive with what they can.
Right.
Now, you mentioned earlier something about the culture here.
Yeah.
Talk about that.
I think, and I wouldn't be here as long as I've been here if it weren't a good place to be.
Sure.
And the lessons that I learned in my human resources role and from the mentors that I've had here is really that this is a family. We want to know each other. We want to support each other. It is fundamentally impossible in the workplace, if you have a family, to be 100% at both places at all times.
Sure.
That's a corporate lie. It doesn't exist. And I think flat out acknowledging that is really important. And acknowledging the fact that people have a life outside of their work, and that don't miss those opportunities. Don't miss taking your elderly mother to the grocery store. Don't miss going to a baseball game for your son, because those moments don't come back. Work will be here. And that's a premise and a culture that I like to foster. We are only as good as our direct service professionals.
Yep.
And I think sometimes people get that backwards. But they are the individuals who are boots on the ground doing the work. And when you work with human beings, it's not easy.
Right.
It's the hardest job in the world. Their job is far harder than mine.
Sure.
And we want to foster their growth. We want to offer them opportunities for advancement. And I think VGS has a really nice mix of people like myself who've been here a very, very long time. But I'm also cognizant of the fact that you do need to hire from outside. Those ideas need to come in from the outside. You can't
Sure.
solely live in your own bubble. And I think we have a really nice mix here.
And that probably comes from your culture.
I think so. I'd like to think so.
Yeah. Well, tell us a great story.
Oh, gosh. And again, it's funny because I'm on the other side of the coin, right? I spent a long time on the admin side, so it's a little bit different. There was one individual, and she's not here at VGS any longer, but when I would walk in the door every morning, it was, "You look fabulous."
She would say that to you every morning?
Every day. And it wasn't just me. Let's be honest. It
Sure,
wasn't just
sure.
me. But you cannot buy that kind of
Right.
excitement and validation anywhere, right? I'm not getting that at a bank. I'm not getting that at a law firm.
And you'd feel weird if you did.
Yes, it would be a little bit awkward. But I really valued that. It didn't matter what it was unconditional.
Right.
And there was something really beautiful about that. And so that's something that sticks with me every day, that, hey, a compliment matters. And sometimes just saying hi and you're going to have a great day today.
Wow. Nice.
Really matters.
Well, thank you, Susie.
Yeah, my pleasure.
It's been fun.
Yeah.
And, I always enjoy the conversations that we have that everybody gets to hear, but I also enjoy those that I have before and after the interviews. So,
Shh, don't tell anybody about that.
They have to pay for that.
Yeah, that's extra.
Thank you so much, and best of luck to your organization.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thanks for listening to The Direct Line. If you or your organization would like to be guests on this podcast, please reach out to podcast@oadsp.org. As long as you support people with developmental disabilities, we would love to hear your story. There is no cost, and we come to you.